Hi, it's the Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I am so excited. I've been waiting to do this, but today's the day. I'm gonna finally break into the boxes on the ground, this little bundle right here from Chanticaille. And when I pulled it out, I noticed that it even has like a little bow on it. I totally blame Theresa is dead. Now, I know she doesn't watch my channel. If somehow you end up here, Theresa, I love you. But when I discovered Theresa, she started making recommendations and so far has not led me wrong. A lot of the things that I have tried, let me just get this out, I'm making a lot of noise. The two items that I've already tried that Theresa recommended, oh, in love. There might be more, but there's at least these two that just make me go, yes. And one of them is the Ritual Defee Pigment Color Balm as a cream blush, which I love. And she could not stop talking about her Gucci lipstick. So during the recent Sephora sale, I also picked up a Gucci lipstick. But the one thing she would not stop talking about is this little baby here. This is from Chanticaille. This is the Flower Power Perfect Blur Finishing Powder. Before it was just the Perfect Blur Finishing Powder. It had different packaging on the front, but they have packaged it, and look how cute. Oh, it's raised and beautiful, and be still my heart. I love the packaging. It says Chanticaille right here. Wow. So already like a 10 out of 10 just for sheer beauty. I love the texture on the top of this. So much fun. But my goal is to find a powder that looks like nothing on the skin and turns back the clock. Now, it's not gonna like actually anti-age my skin, but it's gonna make me look younger. Isn't that what we all want? You know, blurred, perfected, no pores, no wrinkles, no crinkles, and that whatever makeup you have on underneath is like perfect all day long. That's what I want. I always want that. So I'm hoping that very expensive Miss Chanticaille here can deliver on that. So I already have color corrector, foundation, and concealer on, a very light layer of each, but it's time to put some of this on. I have two clean brushes. Thank you, Goss, for making such beautiful brushes. And I'm gonna start with this little tiny guy here. The best thing we're gonna do now, I'm just gonna make sure that I don't have any product sitting in my under eye crinkles, and you have to look back here for now. So I'm gonna just use this clean brush here. I'm gonna pick up the powder and set my under eye. The goal is to have something that sets this but doesn't make my skin look too flat. I'm also going to, I always end up with just a little bit of foundation or concealer here, and I want to make sure that doesn't go anywhere and end up in my crease. I like a smaller brush like this for some of the real detailed areas. I'm also going to make sure I don't have any creasing in my nasolabial folds, underneath my chin. And then I'm just gonna place this right in through here. I will go over all of this with a larger, fluffier brush, but I wanna make sure I get the corners of my nose really well and places where I tend to have foundation and concealer crease just a little bit. Same with the expression lines in my forehead, tap, tap, tap. So this is a larger, much larger brush, and I am just going to completely load this bad boy up, and then we're just gonna go all over the face. I feel like I'm getting some product kicking up here, but that's okay. And the embossing is diminished, not a problem. I know Theresa and I have very different skin types. We're also, I think, a decade apart in age. She's almost 36, I'm 46. But what I really resonate with Theresa is she's always worried about her skin looking dry, her skin looking crepey, her under eyes especially. She does not put up with dry and aging concealers, powders, and that's what I'm looking for. And I always know, even though I have normal and kind of combination right in this area that can kind of spread out to this area come summertime, the rest of my skin is pretty normal. I don't deal with a lot of dryness, but my under eyes, the older I get, like the difference between 36 and 46, it's like two different people almost. And I'm sure from 46 to 56, again, we're going to continue to change, but I need a product that is going to look beautiful. I almost have no pores on my nose. I want to know is like, do I need my glasses to look up and find the pores on my nose that there usually are? I do have a pore filling primer. Let's not pretend that we didn't do a little prep work beforehand. But wow. The color of the powder is throwing me off. This is a lot fairer than this. And I definitely know that it was this powder that took me there. A lot of the rest of the powders that I love to reach for here is the new Dior powder. And this one, of course, is 0N Fair. It's light. I thought this was really similar in tone to the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless powder. No. I also have that one in Fair, and it's a lot lighter than this is. And I was thinking, what else do I have? I even pulled out the Makeup Forever Velvet powder. And this one I remember being too deep for my skin when I was wearing it as powder foundation. So this is significantly darker than a lot of the other fair powders I have. One of the things now that I'm 46, I tend to notice that right here, right underneath my lower lip, I'm starting to get some fine lines, and product does collect there, as it does right here in my nasolabial folds. And this corner right here that kind of turns down in my mouth. And so it's already going on here. I sometimes have that problem. And if I don't set that, and that might have been me missing that area. If I don't set that well with powder, everything just tends to collect there. And then it's kind of like a highlight. Another thing I always look for is right under the eyes. And I feel like I know that there is no product that is going to cover up and erase the wrinkles I have. I know that, but what I'm looking for is a product that's gonna keep the color corrector and the concealer set so that nothing continues to travel into the crinkles and the creases. Because when that starts to happen and those wrinkles start to collect product and the powder doesn't keep it where I placed it, then it just continues to age me. 3 hours later, I look a decade older. 6 hours later, I look 4 decades older. You know, and by the end of the day, when I wash my face off 12 hours later, it looks like I'm 400 years old. And that is not what I want. So far, this doesn't make it look dry or age me at all, but what is it gonna look like later today? The product itself, it is blurring. Like literally, I cannot see any of the pores on my nose. And I have a lot of porage going on, like right here on the septum, right across the tops of my nose. It hasn't completely blurred out, and maybe, let's just see what happens if we press some of this in through here. Ooh. It has really diminished the look of the pores from here to here. Can you see the difference? Do we need to zoom in? Let me zoom in. I don't know if you can see the difference. I feel like they're much more diminished here than they are here. And this is where I'm using a damp beauty blender, and I'm just picking up some of this. Let's see if I can show you on this side. Pores, what pores? I really like the way this is diminishing the look of my pores. I have put on a significant amount of powder. There are some powders that are so dry, as you put them on and you move your face, you start to really feel I've got a lot of powder on, like the Huda Beauty, her baking powder. That's so heavy. There are other ones. I feel like the Charlotte Tilbury, even though it's a beautiful powder, if I put too much of this on, I feel it on my face. I don't really feel this on my face. This is very, very interesting and very promising. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out. I'm gonna do the rest of my face and I'll be right back. Theresa, you did not lie. I feel like I have almost no pores across my nose. No visible, because they're still there. But it's probably been a decade since I haven't seen like the dots on my nose. I am wearing a pore filling primer. I'm not gonna tell you that I'm not. But I feel like, if you remember when I was pressing powder in on one side, and I was like, ooh, let's do the other side too. Like, it made a pretty big difference. The only place I don't feel like I see the most difference is like right here in my forehead, but that's where the deepest lines are on my face. That's where I do most of my expressions. You can see, like, I don't have a pair of 11s. I have a really deep offset one. And then I have some strong lines going across my forehead, and I feel like it doesn't look diminished. It looks the same, but okay, you're not a genie in a bottle, but it kind of feels that way for the pores across my nose. I don't feel like any major sins are being committed underneath the eyes. I think it actually looks really good. And right down in here and nasal labial folds, I have like a crease that's starting to deepen right in this area, and it's not grabbing and settling. Now, just finished applying it. I will let you know in a pinned comment down below how it wore. I feel like the only downsides to this powder, first of all, the price. Oh boy, it's expensive. It is a pretty penny. It's an investment. And to me, obviously the shade range. This is light medium, and this would definitely work for people who have light to medium skin tones, but as somebody who always skews fair and needs the lightest powder, and sometimes even the lightest powder is too deep, I feel like there's a real significant difference between this and what my natural skin tone is. So my kingdom for a fair powder from Chanticaille. The other thing is, just because there isn't one for the fair, it also means that there isn't one for really rich skin tones. And I feel like you've got kind of like the middle plug, but there's the two extremes where I feel like, I know they're a small business. I feel like they could expand their shade range and still give us such a glorious product. But 10 out of 10 for packaging, beautiful, and the embossing on the pan that I already killed. But I'll tell you, I think this is a really lovely looking powder on first application. Give me 2 weeks, I'll get back to you and let you know whether I feel like this is worth your hard-earned dollars. I did get a percentage off on this. I think I got 15% off, 10 or 15% off when I made this purchase because I used a welcome code. I signed up for their newsletter and I got a percentage off. I didn't want to pay the 80 whatever dollars. Is it 82, 84? It was hard. It was a purchase that I to force myself to do. I normally don't spend that on one product, but I really, really wanted to know. Let me know if there is a influencer out there. For me, Theresa. I'm sure there's more, but these are the ones that I can instantly think of that she has really, you know, kind of pushed me over the edge on, like, yes, I have to try that. I know there's a lot of other people whose recommendations I really love. I love recommendations from Emily Noel, from Jessica Braun, from Mel Thompson. Like, there's a plethora of people out there, but I'd love to know what products you've tried based on someone's recommendations and whether there's a person whose recommendations you can almost always trust. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being subscribed. Have an incredible day, and I will see you again soon.